Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab.
Welcome to Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab. I'm Grant.
I'm Brad.
And I changed it up once again. I was supposed to say the whole thing like, we are this month's man candy.
See, I was thinking something along the lines of, were the sweets for your sweet?
For your sweet tooth.
Because isn't that what it says over and over in the movie? Sweets for the sweet.
You know what? We didn't even talk about that. I don't even know why they had candy in front of the mural.
Yeah, I mean,
it never was explained. We never even talked about it, which I guess.
Why is it Candyman?
Yeah, why is it Candyman?
Anyways,
yeah.
Okay, I think one thing we absolutely have to talk about. We have to dissect this just a little bit. Not. I don't want to go in it for it too much because otherwise it's going to be a really long podcast.
Mm.
But since we had the wrestling podcast and since WrestleMania has happened, we have to at least talk about it a little bit.
The Firefly Funhouse match, or the whole thing?
Well, no, the whole thing.
Okay.
I mean, not. Let's not go match by match or anything. But what did you think? What was your?
They did their job. I sat there for 8 hours, 7 hours, whatever it was, and I watched it, and I did forget about everything that was going on. It didn't feel anything special, and it's an event that I get really excited about every year.
Sure.
And I actually thought it was a pretty decent card and matches that I was very excited to see. And the problem is that once you got there, like Rhea versus Charlotte was a really good match, and Seth and Kevin Owens probably the best match of the whole 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
But they would have been that much better with a crowd, which is not WWE's fault. It just sucks. And I think it's like what you said is that like the Drew Brock match is the exact match they would have had anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have been completely different with a crowd.
Oh, it would have been awesome. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Like at first I was like, okay, like this isn't that bad. I can do this. Especially once the Sammy match happened.
Mm-hmm.
Once Sammy came out and he had Nakamura and Cesaro with him, and he was going against who was he against?
Daniel.
It was Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan had Drew Gulak with him.
Mm-hmm.
How did I forget Daniel Bryan?
I'd say that match wasn't that bad either.
The people outside and Sammy never stopping talking was great.
Mm-hmm.
It made for that, like, you almost forgot for a second that there wasn't a crowd there because there was so much going on. Mm-hmm. I like having the people outside. It really helped.
Yeah, well, that's what it helps with the Otis Dolph match with having Sonya out there and then Mandy coming out. Like I didn't feel that weird about it. And even like the Street Profits match with having Zelina out there and like Bianca coming in. Those things made it a little bit better, but then you get something like Alistair and Bobby Lashley,
which didn't make sense anyway.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. This card got thrown together to make it 2 nights and to make it 16 matches. Should have been a 10-match event.
Yeah,
it should be like 4 hours and call it a day.
Yeah.
But like, I thought the matches were good. The Bray Cena thing, I didn't understand. I didn't like it. I see all the grades are really high and everything. Everybody really loved it. Well, I didn't like it.
I loved it, but it was, and I think I texted you, it was one long promo package. Like that's something that could have been played before an actual match.
Yeah, and I like the nostalgia factors.
Yeah, and I was excited because it was something, for some reason after seeing the Undertaker match, I thought that, like I didn't even think about it not being a wrestling match, but then I was like, at least they tried to do something different than another match that was pre-taped.
Yeah.
But it really kind of actually made no sense. But you got more Cena than you did when he did fight the Undertaker, when he got, like choke slammed in like 5 seconds. So, I mean, it was fine. I was there the whole time. I was into that, like watching the.
And I love the Undertaker match. Mm-hmm. I really did. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that it could have been one night and they could have cut it down a lot.
Yeah. Did we need that Street Profits match?
No. No, and you could be doing the same thing that NXT is doing right now, where you just put the match on Monday night. It didn't need to be part of WrestleMania.
No, it didn't. And even some of the matches felt like that. Like the Rollins-Owens match felt like a Raw match until the second coming of until the bells start ringing again, and then that's where it.
And I thought about it too. Kevin Owens is the only person in wrestling history that can say he jumped off the WrestleMania sign.
That's true.
So, and I don't think it'll ever happen again. So
I hope not. But yeah, so I just wanted to at least talk about it a little bit. I know that by the time that Lesnar McIntyre happened, I was lethargic and I didn't want to watch any more wrestling, and I still have not gone back to any more wrestling, and I'm falling behind because I just don't fucking want to watch any more wrestling right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a rough spot for a while.
Yeah. Anyway, have you watched anything? I know it hasn't been real long since we talked, but I did watch. I watched 2 things. So
no, I've just been reading. I've been reading. Is it A Night in Terror Tower?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been reading that to Maya, and then I myself am about finally fucking done with the longest book ever in The Talisman.
Okay.
So that's all I've been doing. It's been nonstop, man. And
I love A Night in Terror Tower. It's really good.
We're on chapter 6, so I mean, it's usual cheesy stuff. But
so wait a minute, did you just get done with My Hairiest Adventure then?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Somehow, the whole time me and Maya were waiting for the werewolf reveal that doesn't happen.
The My Hairiest Adventure, it's so ridiculous, but I love that story. I don't know why, but I love that book.
Yeah.
I have no reason why that I would like it so much, but it's told well. Like, to the point where you're like, it's a really fucked up story. Like, if you really think about it, like,
well, the big reveal and everything.
Yeah. Like, it's a messed up story. And yeah, I think that's a great story. You've just got through like a really good span of books, because 25 is Attack of the Mutant, which is awesome. 24 is Phantom of the Auditorium, which is awesome. 23, I'm not sure. What's 23?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I can't remember.
But that run of books, 24 through 27, is awesome.
Because it would have been is it a Mummy? Is it Return or the second Mummy?
I think that's 21, but it could be.
Okay.
Maybe, no, you know what? Maybe it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last one you watched, because we haven't watched Attack of the Mutant yet. And we watched Phantom of the Auditorium. Okay, so never mind.
Phantom of the Auditorium was always one of my favorites too.
Yes.
The Zeke and all that. I
remember seeing it in the like in the book thing. And like circle, like that's one I remember waiting on in like 5th grade or whatever.
Yes, it was 5th grade. I totally remember. I remember I went to Michigan that weekend, and I remember like reading it, because I think the books would come in on a Friday, or at least that time it did. And we were leaving from Michigan. I finished it that night. Like, I read the whole thing in one night.
That's usually what happens
with
those books.
That book was. Yeah, I mean, at least I know that reading it now as an adult, you see their flaws, but I still love them. So
what'd you watch?
I watched. First of all, I watched Night Watch. Have you ever seen Night Watch?
Oh, I'm thinking of Night Flyer. No, I haven't seen Night Watch.
Night Watch. It was really good, actually. It's a foreign movie, but it's subtitled in English, or not subtitled, but they dubbed it. Yeah. And you can barely tell. It's amazing. But it's really good. It's basically there's an agreement between the angels and the devils, if you will, and it's called, like, it's not really the angels and the devils, but that's what it is. It's like then the night watches the day and the day watches the night, and then there's people in between. Yeah, and it's really good. Okay. It's almost hard to explain, but it's really, really good. So at some point you have to watch that. The only other thing I watched was Mallrats, but I watched the extended version. Yeah, and I hated it.
I don't know
if
you've ever seen
the extended version. No. It's not worth it. And you know what? It made me miss the nostalgic factor of it, because they completely changed the story. And there's like this whole intro to where, and they even mentioned it a few times, where T.S. is supposed to be in this play, and Brandy's up on the roof. Jesus, she's up on the roof, and they get her hair caught in the musket, and somehow it fires, and it fires at the governor, and all of a sudden it's like
they shot all that.
Oh, it's forever long. I mean, the first 40 minutes is pre-mall, and it's like and they redid it. It looks beautiful on the Blu-ray. Yeah. Like it's done. They remaster it and everything. But I mean, like, there's things that happen, like where Svenning is like, "Oh, if it isn't my neighbor," when he sees Brody, because Brody earlier in the movie had taken a news crew over to the Svenning's house to show him, and that's where the scene is with the towel. And it's supposed to be a news crew sitting there taping him, Mr. Svenning, with the towel. And it's just really strange. So, anyways, don't ever watch it.
Okay.
That's all. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
So we had the idea, though, to watch a movie with our friends Matt and Frank, who have been on the podcast before. It was a difficult decision to make at first. We were like, oh, let's pick 3 movies. And then we decided to do a movie that was more mainstream.
Accessible.
Yeah, accessible, and maybe something that people might even be interested in. If it's your favorite movie, maybe it's something that you search rather than some of the other ones. Like one of your ones on your list was Trick.
Yeah,
is that one?
Yeah, it's
I've been wanting to watch that. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that too. So like that would have been a good opportunity to watch it. Maybe we will now. But yeah, so we asked Matt and Frank to watch it. One of them did. And I suppose we will start that now. Unless you have anything to add.
No. I forget what I made you say last time, though, for the mic thing. Was it go, Brad?
How about we just snap? Just snap. Just snap.
Oh, this is awesome. Thanks for doing this. Frank!
Greetings.
Hi, Frank. Frank, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, Bradley's here.
What's up?
What's up, Brad?
I do have a question for you guys, and I thought about it today. And this has nothing to do with what we're here to talk about, but we started with Maya. We started on Iron Man, and we started her at the beginning of the Marvel Universe. Then I started thinking, what is everybody's favorite Marvel movie?
Oh, man.
That's a hard question. There's so many of them.
I know.
Is this going back to like the year 2000?
No, like the new stuff, like starting with Iron Man.
Starting with Iron Man.
So like 2007 or 8. Because then like one popped in my head, and then all of a sudden I was like, but is that really better than this and better than this? And then I started freaking out, and I was like, I wonder what they think.
My first intuition is to say Infinity War.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I really like Thor Ragnarok too.
Yeah. See, Thor Ragnarok popped in my head, but then I was like, but I really enjoyed Guardians too.
Oh, I forgot about the Guardians movies.
Yeah.
But then can you even put that next to Civil War? Because not everybody's in it.
Yes. Civil War?
Yeah.
Winter Soldier was good.
So yeah, it's like it's a weird thing where you think about one, but then you just, like Brad said, he forgot about Guardians.
Yeah. Guardians is up there too. It's probably in those 3, but I really like Infinity War. It's kind of like Empire.
Yeah.
Like where it's just like everything kind of ends and you're just like, is that it?
Yeah.
Nope. Like, fuck.
Well, half everyone dies. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good in that way where it leaves you wanting so much more. Like when that movie ended, you were like, oh my god, the next movie. And everybody made such a big deal on Endgame. Endgame was okay for me.
Yeah.
But you knew everything was on Endgame. You knew what was going to happen. You knew they were going to come back.
There's too many like and there's Captain Marvel. Oh, and there was that person. It was a little too much, and yeah, I don't know.
But then
I did get sick out of like it was trending the other day. Like they had someone had released a video of like opening night reactions to Endgame. Yeah, and just like crowds going nuts and stuff like that. Like when all the big shit, when everyone's coming back. So it kind of gives you chills, like to watch it. You know.
Yeah.
You imagine what it would have been like to be there on the opening night to watch it with other people.
Yeah.
But then I liked parts of Captain Marvel just because the 90s nostalgia of it.
I haven't watched Captain Marvel yet. Is it good?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was okay. I know some people didn't like it, but like half the time she's wearing a 9 Inch Nails shirt and she crashes into a Blockbuster. So like, what's there to hate about it?
You got some like garbage, songs playing.
Yeah, No Doubt's
like
playing at the end.
The motorcycle and
the big fight scene just has No Doubt.
We were supposed to see Garbage this summer. Probably not happening.
I'm not allowed to bring it up around Abby.
Really?
Yeah, she's still holding out on it.
Dude, Rage Against the Machine was supposed to tour this year.
I know. I'm bummed about that one because they also had Run the Jewels as opening for them, and tickets were pretty expensive, and I almost bought tickets, and I'm happy I didn't now.
Who was opening? I'm sorry.
Run the Jewels.
Oh.
They're a rap group.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
No.
I have I had tickets to Rage Against the Machine show once, and then I think they broke up instead.
That sounds like a really sad story. And then they broke up instead.
Yeah, and then I think the BC Boys went in their spot on the tour, and then I ended up not going to the show at all.
Yeah,
that's what I recall. It is kind of a sad story.
It is.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think that this is really going to be like all back to normal at the end of the month?
No,
it won't be.
Not a long shot.
I mean, even at like just little things, even like I haven't got my hair cut, and even if they open it up like to everybody again, it's like everybody's going to be rushing back out. That I'm not going to get a haircut for like 3 months. Like,
I don't think that things are going to be back to normal until probably like next March.
Wow.
You say next March? Yeah. Yeah, it's normal, like back to where we had it before, going to shows, going to sports, like going to anything. It's not going to be like that for a while.
I think like baseball might happen come like, late March, May, June, but I don't think there's going to be people there.
You guys, this is my daughter, Gemma. Say hi, Gemma. Hi. Come on. She doesn't want to. She's camera shy. I've got her show in the background going on to entertain her so she doesn't bother us.
Ask her what she thought of Candyman.
Oh, dude. She doesn't even. Dude, Candyman. I saw that text. I haven't seen that movie in a million years. That was a great movie, though.
Well, hopefully you watched it. That was the homework.
Yeah, I don't think he watched it.
Well, I've seen it a couple times, but
well, I forgot, so I watched it this afternoon.
I mean, that takes place in Chicago, right? Like the project in Chicago.
It does.
Yeah. So do you guys?
It was a lot better than I remembered.
Do you want to get into it then? Or?
Yeah, let's.
It's up to you guys. I just made a joke because his daughter was there.
No.
Not exactly age appropriate.
No, let's talk about the 1992 happy family movie named Candyman, directed by Bernard Rose, and something I forgot actually. It was written by Clive Barker and based on.
I forgot that too.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's starring Virginia Madsen in all her loveliness, and of course,
I've never seen her
Tony Todd.
Didn't be nude before.
I know that never. I had no idea that she got nude in that movie.
You didn't remember that?
I didn't remember that. I wasn't mad. I can tell you that.
And honestly, I just want to talk about like at the end, like the girl, like at the very end.
Hold on. We're not at the end, Frank.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I don't know. We're going to do the whole movie chronologically, but I mean that has nothing to do with the plot. It's just like they didn't give the girl a bra.
Yeah, Virginia Madsen is amazing because I just had recently watched Sideways as well.
Yeah.
On just a random night, probably like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks better in Sideways than she did. Like she aged really well.
Yeah. No,
Not that she didn't look good in Candyman, but like in Sideways, she's just very attractive.
And she carried this movie because it is really just her the whole time.
It is. I mean, and I remembered that. I barely remembered her sidekick.
Bernadette?
Yes.
Yes.
I barely remembered that she had one.
Yeah, I thought it was her the entire time.
Yeah. So let's start out talking. I do have some notes here.
Mm-hmm.
My first note, Grant already knows, I fucking love this intro music. It sounds like an NES score from the 80s. Did you listen for it?
Yes, I listened for the music, and I went the other way. You went with music, and I went. There's those beautiful overhead shots that they use the whole movie of like the freeway in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have beautiful opening overhead shots. completely forgot that Clive Barker had anything to do with this, but it is based on the Clive Barker book Forbidden. I'm guessing it's a book. I don't know what it is.
It's part of his books of blood.
Okay.
There's like 5 of them. It's like collections of short stories type of things.
I believe it was a short story. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I do not like. What's Matt doing?
I don't know.
I've got computer on in the background.
Oh, okay. I am not a fan of Clive Barker.
I read some of his stuff when I was younger. Some of it's hard to read. I was always a big Stephen King fan, so I tried to branch out.
It's different, though.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Do you like Clive Barker movies?
No, I guess that's what I'm talking about. I don't like Hellraiser. I don't like Nightbreed. Like, I don't know I don't know what it is about it. If it's like just too, I don't know what the word is, visceral. Like, just like
they go far. I agree with you, and they're very creature driven.
Yeah, and very demonic most of the time.
Yeah. And Hellraiser 1 and 2 are pretty good, and I'm trying to think. I feel like there's another movie that I've recently watched that he did, and I'm trying. Did he do From Beyond, or was that Lovecraft? Anybody know?
I don't know what that one is.
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know who wrote it. As I'm holding a phone in my hand and talking on an iPad that I could look it up on.
I'm on the iPad. I'm looking. It's Lovecraft.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I don't really like his stuff, but I like this.
Well, if you like this and you like Hellraiser.
No, I don't like Hellraiser.
You don't like Hellraiser at all?
Nah.
Really?
Really. I've only seen the first one, though. I don't know if that matters, but...
No, if you don't like the first one.
To me, that's the only really good one.
Yeah.
The second one's watchable.
Pinhead,
After that, it gets... I don't know.
So then... The shots of the freeway in Chicago, we fade into bees, and that's going to be an overarching theme this entire time. These bees,
are certainly overarching theme.
Is that even the right way to say that? Is it overarching or overarching?
I think it's arching.
Okay,
overarching. Yeah, because it's going.
I'm calling it arcing.
Okay.
My first thing I noticed though. Billy, played by Ted Raimi.
Oh,
I have that note.
Like,
yeah,
but before that,
what's weird?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, we have the like with the bees. He gets this. There's this voice that happens, and he says, "Oh, the shit," and then he ends it with.
I have it here.
Oh, you have the whole thing?
He said he's going to split me from groin to gullet.
That's the
only...
I
was like, that's fucked up.
That's the only thing that I actually wrote down. I was like, I should probably write this whole thing, but I only put the groin to gullet thing. So, but yes. So then we find out that Ted Raimi's Billy. Sorry, Frank. I took over there.
It took me a second to figure out who Ted Raimi was. Like, because I just didn't place him in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because I probably last time I watched that movie, I don't know if I knew who Ted Raimi was.
Yeah, I had no idea he was in the movie.
And I used to see him in his brother's movies, you know.
Right. So he was in it, and I was like, who is that? Who? Oh, like yeah.
Oh, and it's such a cheesy, stereotypical character too. Like he's just the boyfriend that wants to drink beer and get laid, man.
Oh, he wasn't the boyfriend. That's the thing.
Do what?
He wasn't the boyfriend. He was being a bad boy.
Oh yeah, he was the bad boy. That's right.
Yeah,
bad boy.
So why Billy's over there? The girl starts explaining the story of Candyman. And what's the story of Candyman, Matt?
You know, it reminded me. You guys remember the Bloody Mary urban legend, right? Yeah. That's what this movie kind of immediately. My first impression was it's a spin-off of the Bloody Mary, whatever. But obviously the bees and the storyline and the ghetto. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool.
I put that my note here was I love the urban legend idea of Bloody Mary into just a big black dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the story is the legend itself was almost difficult to follow for a second.
Yeah, there are some questions in this movie.
And then, but it got better when the guy explained it at dinner later.
Mm.
Yep. The guy who had done but even then, his story was so like he was trying to be so educational about it, and kind of a dick.
Yeah.
That even then, I was like, so what what happened? Like, I still was a little bit like, he fell in love. He worked for a rich man, and the rich man's daughter fell in love with his dad.
Yeah, he was like a slave that could paint. He was an artist.
No, he was the son of a slave. This is after the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and so he was a painter, so he was sent to all the educated places. So he was like a well-educated man.
Mm-hmm.
So they hired him to paint a portrait of the daughter. They fell in love, and she got pregnant. So they dragged him out, in the middle field, chopped off his hand, and then like spread honey on him and released bees all over him, and then they burned him.
Yeah,
right. Because the bees weren't enough.
No, the bees weren't enough.
And we would learn anything from My Girl. Bees are enough.
Oh, that's a good callback.
That's
a sad movie. That's like there's Brad's story from earlier, and then there's My Girl. Like that's how the levels of sadness goes.
Do you mean my Rage Against the Machine Beastie Boys story?
Yeah.
So here was my confusion. They kept talking about the fact that the girl was pregnant. What happened to the kid?
Well, I don't think they've ever mentioned that. I mean, I don't think
maybe that was later in the other movie. But
there's a Candyman 2, isn't there?
There's a 2 and 3, but apparently they're not very good. But they do have Tony Todd in them.
Yeah. But yeah, I just got confused sometimes about the son, and he was the son of somebody else, and there was a son, and then he was going to have a kid too. I was like, wait a minute. So who is Candyman? Like, is he the son of the painter, or is he?
He is the painter.
He is the
or
painter.
Is he? Was he a slave too? No, I had to read it. I finally read it.
Okay.
When I got done, I literally I was like Candyman origin because I wanted to make sure that I was right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous though.
Okay, so then we go through the whole boyfriend thing. Boyfriend gets fucking murdered for doing the Candyman 5 times. And then we pull out to realize that that's a story being told to the beautiful Madsen. Sorry, Virginia Madsen. And it seems like she's researching urban legends with her friend Bernadette.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Michael Madsen is her brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Which kind of makes it weird because of how good looking she is. But
Reservoir Dogs, not Pulp Fiction.
Oh, see, I thought it was on all Tarantino movies.
Just not Pulp Fiction. It was written for him, but Travolta played it.
So then you realize that they are graduate students and they are writing like a thesis type deal, and their thesis is basically urban legends or something along those lines. And it turns out that they are very intrigued by this Candyman story. Flash to Virginia Madsen goes into this classroom. You quickly realize that her husband is the teacher of the class, and he is he is teaching about urban legends and things of that nature. And it's
studying student bodies.
It's very obvious right away that he's fucking one of his students named Stacy, because of the way that Stacy acts towards Virginia Madsen and the way that she's kind of waiting around, and then so that's some foreshadowing there.
I also have a note. Virginia Madsen smokes a lot.
Really?
Yes, I noticed that too. It made me want to smoke again a little bit,
Oh, wait, you guys, I got to tell you this. I am now 10 days tobacco free. Over 20 years of doing tobacco products.
It's good.
Very good.
Congrats, man.
It's a bitch though, man. It's not just physical, it's mental, it's spiritual. I mean, I think I've gone through all the evil shit.
Yeah.
It's just I'm still having a nicotine fit once in a while. Today was pretty bad, but I made it. So
good, man.
But alcohol is a good whatever you want to call it, a crutch.
It's a good hell of a drug.
What do you have from there, Grant?
She starts going through old newspapers in a microfiche machine. I forget what you called it on the Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Centrifuge. I put a centrifuge back again.
It is microfiche.
Microfiche.
She became convinced he could be real like so fucking quick.
Yeah, I mean,
like it took no convincing that this actually might have happened.
Yeah.
Now, see, I take that differently. I don't think she believed it was real. I think she thought there was really a killer out there, because that's what she tells the little boy, that Candyman isn't real, And then, like, Candyman even says to her, "You told my congregation." Well, she thinks that there's a killer. I think more like the guy who hit her. Like, she's looking for not a supernatural Candyman, but someone who kind of like, maybe took up that realm. But I don't think she has any belief that there's really a Candyman that's that kind of gets you if you say it 5 times. She even says it in the mirror 5 times, because she's not scared.
Well, I think we missed a part here, because she starts talking to some janitors at the school.
Yeah.
And the janitor says he is real, he lives in the projects, and he killed a lady. Next line is the centrifuge back again. She became convinced he could be real very quick. What I mean by that is that she, like, the lady seemed a little weird, a little off, and she became convinced of everything extremely quick. Like, that this was a real killer and that this was happening.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, I don't know, I guess it could have used a little bit more convincing for me. Like, she saw 2 newspaper articles and she was like, well, Bernadette, we obviously need to go and play sleuth here.
Well, I think the other thing that pushed her was that for some reason she realized that her condo or apartments or whatever she lived in used to be, or were built as they were supposed to be the projects originally. Yeah. And that they are very easily, you can get into other rooms. Like, she pulled the mirror back and all that shit.
It was the same exact design and builder of the ones that the girl was killed in, that the Candyman supposedly killed.
Yeah. So that's how I think that she thought that she could go over there and try to find, like, secret rooms that maybe, Candyman was staying in.
So then they go to the projects.
Cabrini.
Green.
Is it green?
Green.
Okay.
Green.
Yeah.
Green. It's a real place, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Uh-huh. I looked it up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's like, if you look up, projects in Chicago, it's the top of the list.
Is that, Frank, quick question, since you looked it up. Did you guys ever see that movie? It's called, like, Save the Last Dance or something like that. It's the
Julia Stiles joint?
Yes.
I guess I did.
Is that the same ghetto?
I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. Sorry,
I'm
Matt.
glad you at least recognized it. It's not Save the Last Dance. It's called something like that, though.
I think that's the name of it.
Okay, so it is Save the Last Dance. All right. But yeah, so anyway. It's still, Frank, you said you looked it up. It's still the #1, like, worst project. That's pretty wild.
Well, I just said it was the number thing, the first thing that comes up if you look at Chicago projects, and it doesn't seem like it'd be a great place to live. I mean, because, like, it seems like they get a lot of Section 8 housing, which, it's not going to be very good if you get a lot of Section 8 housing, But, no, I didn't do a lot of research into it, just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So then from there...
Brad disappeared.
Yeah, Brad disappeared.
He's getting a beer.
So then we have a drunk Trevor that gives us our first jump scare of the movie. He comes in late, and he seems to be a tad drunk. And so there's a little bit more added to the Trevor character of the, where was he? Why was he coming home drunk?
Yeah, and it was like 4 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Or something.
He scared the shit out of her, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the next day, it looks like her and Bernadette are going to the projects. But they're dressed like narcs. I'm going to go ahead and say it. They're dressed like narcs.
I think they said it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And I thought the gangsters were rather colorful.
Mm-hmm.
They're like purple and stuff like that.
I actually, like, I was nervous for them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it was so silly because it's a movie, but it's like these girls have more guts than I do. And it looked real. It seemed real, like the way that they kind of, like, the guys kept their distance, but they were kind of messing with them at the same time. It was good.
And then they find a hole in the wall. Or no, the mirror. I have a note of they find the original mirror and she crawls through it.
Yeah, they get to the apartment where it supposedly happened.
That okay?
Finally, the guys aren't bothering anymore because they think that they're the police.
Yeah.
So they go in, they find the apartment, and they find the bathroom, they find the mirror, and Virginia Madsen crawls through the mirror. What's her name in the fucking movie? Now I can't.
I don't know.
Brenda?
I was like, we
Helen.
can't keep calling her Virginia Madsen, but
Is it Helen?
It's Helen.
Okay.
okay.
So
she crawls through
the mirror.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh no, I just want to talk about. It's a very slow pull out, and you just see a giant mural of Candyman, even though you don't know that's who that is yet.
I put Candyman graffiti as a super cool touch, actually.
Yeah. Which you wonder now that he's an artist, did he paint it?
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to say, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like everything made sense. Everything was well done, like as far as like his. That's what I put. Candyman's story is super interesting. Like, and it really is. It's a lot into it. It's a kind of a cool backstory.
Which I actually have here. I have the whole backstory that Frank already went over, but I have the last note that says that they scattered his ashes over Cabrini Green. And it looks like okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought we were a two-man job right now. Frank's back.
Yeah, someone was trying to call me. I declined it.
Oh. And now she's talking to one of the kids there, and he's saying he can't talk because Candyman will come get him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good, Frank.
I know.
Dude, would you guys think of that artwork? How cool would it be to have a giant Candyman mural in your house or a painting?
I don't know. It's not quite my style. Yeah. You want to put that on your bedroom wall? Yeah.
I'm not even allowed to have the Vigo painting anywhere. Abby won't let it happen.
Have a what?
The painting of Vigo from Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, you know what? I'm sure you saw this already, Grant. I don't know if you saw. That's why you thought of that. But there actually is one of those paintings at Mikey's Late Night Slice in downtown Columbus area in the Short North.
Yeah, I've seen it.
All right. From there, where do we go from there?
It's the story of the kid, or she sees the kid get ripped apart in the bathroom, basically.
Okay, so the bathroom scene is next.
Yeah, the bathroom scene is next.
You guys skipped the woman with her kid, didn't you?
Oh. Yeah, I didn't take a note because I didn't think that was that important at that time.
Oh.
I guess it is now.
Well, yeah, it kind of becomes important later.
She meets the neighbor to the other way, right? So it's the neighbor.
It's the woman who called 911. You know, when she heard the woman getting killed, she was the one who called 911.
Yeah.
You know, and so she had that mean dog that you see through the window, and she had her baby Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
And she's real mean at first, but then she's warms up to him.
Yep. But that's about it for her, really. I
but
mean, it's not like there's a lot of character development there.
Well, but she has a big part to play later. I mean,
but it's So the next scene is the girl goes down, or she goes down, and there's some little boy, or is it a little boy tells her that Candyman's in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes, and it kind of shows like something had happened there, and there was a toilet full of bees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the money shot. That's how she knows he might be real.
I have here the bloody toilet scene was fairly graphic, but the kid said the black guy got so scared that when he went to the bathroom, he turned white. I was hoping they were going to show that. And
his hair turned white.
Oh, his hair turned white? I thought the black guy turned white.
No.
Well,
Michael Jackson.
Like, you look like you've seen a ghost. You look, you're white as a ghost.
Well,
so
there's there's a line in Ghostbusters like that. It's like, since I've been with these guys, I've seen shit that'll turn you white.
But yeah, then there's a toilet full of bees, and then I have here the gangsters come in at that point. There's 4 of them, and you can tell one actually has a hook, and he's playing off the Candyman thing.
Yeah.
And he delivers the best line of the movie.
What does he say?
He says, "I heard you looking for Candyman, bitch."
And he's a genius. Like,
the gangster is?
Yeah, for playing off of the thing that everybody's scared of.
Yeah.
He is his own Candyman. And everybody's apparently scared of him, which is told to her when she goes to the police lineup, which is like the next scene, and she identifies him, and that was like they finally put this guy away, and they've been trying to do that for like years, apparently.
But do you know what everybody in that lineup said?
Oh, they said
you're looking for Candyman, bitch.
Yeah, you're right. They did.
You're welcome. And then, I have a long. Oh yeah, they fucked her up. So yeah, her eye is just fucking swollen shut at this point.
Yeah. I put that she looks like Glass Joe.
It's exactly what she looked like. Though, I mean, there was a passage of time, but she healed fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's like super excited, and her husband comes home. She's like, "I made this dinner, and look, my eye is really fucked.
Look, man,
everything's great. I'm so happy with life, and just great."
Yeah, and he's just fucking terrible Trevor, just like, ooh.
Yeah, he just he was. Then he ran at her parade.
Then she gets a call from Bernadette, or maybe Bernadette finds her.
Okay.
To tell her that
there's like they're in the parking garage.
Yeah, and she gives her the slides. She got the film developed because she thought the film was gone.
Oh.
Yeah, she thought that the "Wogan, or you heard you're looking for Candyman, bitch" guy took it, or like it got exposed when he broke it. But she has. And
basically, they made it sound like basically that Candyman, the guy, the gangster Candyman, is kind of the guy that killed everyone.
Yeah,
like he's responsible for like lots of deaths over there. So now you really are confused. Are like, is there a real Candyman or is there not?
But you're about to find out.
You are.
Yeah.
Not until minute 44 of the movie.
Yeah, when he first finally shows up.
Minute 44.
And he's stylish, too.
Oh.
I put he's so goddamn debonair.
What? I'm happy that we all said something, because my note was Tony Todd just looking cool as fuck right now.
And his voice is awesome.
Yeah, and it's just like a silhouette, like, which is something I noticed going on. He never actually, does he ever actually move his mouth when he talks?
I don't know. I thought he did.
Oh, because
I don't think he did in the first scene, but I don't know if in the other scenes if he didn't.
Yeah, there's like that silhouette of him, and he's just looking down, and he's saying all the words.
It's almost like it was coming from his brain, you know? It was like he was like controlling her mentally.
Well, yeah, I put he has mind control over her just to let her know he's real. And the hook looks good as fuck, I wrote. Everything is good as fuck right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
I will say something, like, one thing I noticed, like, with that hook, seems to me like he splits people open way too easily with that. Like, there's a point on it, but it's not like the thing is razor sharp. So wouldn't it be hard to like rip through a body with that?
No, he's gullet to
groin.
Groin to gullet.
Yeah, but like when you need like something razor sharp to do that?
Maybe he's had this thing for so long that he just knows how to do it now.
He talked to her with his mind.
Yeah, still, but there's physics.
I don't know.
So then the mind fuck of the movie is about to happen.
Jedi mind power.
And she's in the middle of a parking lot, starts to feel a little bit weird, wakes up in a bathroom covered in blood.
Just a gruesome scene. It's just like, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie took a dark turn at that point.
Yeah, also the dog's head was off.
I hated that part. I don't like when you kill dogs in movies. I don't like that.
Oh, it's fake. It's fine.
I know, still.
But yeah, things just went awry. All of a sudden, she was back in the neighbor's apartment, the neighbor that called the police.
Mm-hmm.
And shit was just going crazy. And you were just like, is she dreaming? Is she not? It looked like the neighbor wasn't home, but the baby was home.
Yeah.
Like, it was really confusing. And the dog's head, they cut the dog's head off, or she supposedly did. And she doesn't know what the hell's going on. And then all of a sudden, the police come.
Yeah, as she had a butcher knife in her hand, and she'd already cut the woman, with the butcher knife.
Well, she's trying to.
Well, yeah, she's trying to defend herself, but she looks crazy as hell.
Right.
Because the woman attacks her because she's looking for her baby because her baby's missing.
Right.
And then they put that bitch under arrest.
Oh, yeah.
Quick.
And then you get to see your first little bit of titty.
And then she makes so she's in jail. The cops are not treating her as nice as they were before. and she gets to make one phone call. And we're adding to this side story again. She makes a phone call at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor doesn't answer that phone. Now, we know he's not at home. But all he says is that he was asleep, babe. Come on.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sure he was sleeping.
And I have a question mark. I put her husband didn't pick up her call, and the baby is gone? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, I didn't realize that the baby was suddenly gone until I think she was in, and I don't think she realized it until, she was already in the clink.
Oh.
I think it was confusing because the mother, she was like at the crib and she was calling her murderer, so it made it seem like the
that
baby
she killed
was
the baby.
Dead. Yeah, that's what it made it seem like. But then the cops asked her where the baby was.
And this seems like such a big news story too. There are tons of reporters outside.
Yeah, right. Well, she did just get the Candyman arrested, like the guy that was responsible for all this death.
Yeah.
So she was already becoming famous, and they were saying, we kind of skipped over that there was maybe going to be a TV movie about her, a book written, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, that person that was just so famous last week is back at Caprini Green killing dogs. Chopping dogs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
So then I have a note. I don't remember this. She thought she was out of it. He busted through the glass and now keeps cutting her off, haunting her. Oh, he came into the apartment, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because she's going through that little slide projector, and then she notices that he's in the background in one of the photos.
That's what I put. He was there in the pics once she reviewed them. Nice touch. It's something that's been done 100 times, but it still felt horrible.
Yeah.
And I think it was just because it was so long before he actually showed up. And then when he did show up, you barely even saw him still.
Yeah.
And then he did this terrible thing to her, put her in this position. And then all of a sudden you realize, well, shit, he's been there all along.
Yeah. I say he actually hasn't done anything to her yet.
Well, he put her in that position.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess physically or violent.
No, just ruined her life.
That's not too bad.
And then Bernadette comes to the apartment to see if she's okay. And I have a note that says Bernadette, more like Bernadette. Oh.
Yeah, you just knew it was going to be bad, because as soon as he shows up again, she has that knife.
And it seems like
you get to see how he's just kind of like setting her up. You never see like a killer like that whose big goal is like to set her up with the police,
And both...
I have to admit, I jumped at the hook coming through the mirror.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Like a little bitch. I jumped. Like, I don't know what happened. That I think I'd been working out the whole time. And I think that this was around the time that I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of sitting there, just like intently watching it. And it just came out of nowhere. Because if you're sitting there watching a movie like zoned in the whole time for 50 minutes, you're probably more zoned in. But this, I felt like I finally zoned in, and I didn't have the iPad for a second. I didn't have my weights, or I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah,
yeah, totally got me.
But yeah, that's the other thing too, is that you never really see. You don't see the murders happen, but they seem like when they cut back, they seem so grotesque. Like looking at Bernadette on the floor was awful.
Yeah. Man, I have so many notes before Bernadette dies. I put the baby is going to die in her place, but if she goes with him, she'll be immortal. Is that what you guys got from it?
Yeah. Well, she
I
has
was
to
confused
die.
about that kind of stuff. I had questions I was going to ask later about what his plan was.
I don't understand it either. Like, the baby was going to die in her place if she didn't go with him, but if she goes with him, she'll be immortal. So if she just goes with him, baby's fine. She'll be immortal. All kinds of good stuff.
Well, but at the end though, she does try to do that.
Do what?
She tries to go with him to free the baby, but it seems like he tries to kill the baby anyway. In the fire.
Well, that's the thing. Talking about the end, do we want to skip ahead or we want to keep going?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't necessarily know if we want to skip ahead, but
because I have questions about
his
the end.
Plan relates to the end.
Yeah, because right now it is very confusing on what he's actually trying to go for.
Yeah.
I still don't really understand what he was going for at that point.
I mean, I think he wanted to be with her, definitely, because I guess she's supposed to be
But why her?
I took it as she either reminded him or something, but like like of the girl, because she ends up being part of the mural on the wall, so she was the girl.
Yeah, the way I took it is like she must be like she's probably the spitting image of the girl he got pregnant back before he died.
And then
but that's just an assumption. Like I agree that that's a possibility, but like they could have at least he could have at least just touched her face and been like your skin. It feels like hers, or like he could have just said those eyes. I've seen those eyes before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, I think that's why he said it was always you.
He does say that, but I didn't understand that either.
I think that's why he's saying like it was always you, and then it focused on the picture in the mural. So like I think it was
that wasn't until the end though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why he was fixated on her.
Yep.
Yeah. I put, why did he kill Bernadette so quick? Like that, to me, Bernadette was the second biggest character, and it was just like her death was like immediate. And
well, I think at this point you needed to get her into the like asylum, and like that's crazy enough. If she's gonna kill her, then there must be something going on, because like Trevor's obviously the bad guy. You don't want him dead yet, I don't think. Yeah. So she's willing to kill somebody that you like, then she must be nuts, I guess. That's how I took it.
And she just looked guilty as hell, rolling around the floor with that knife,
And then cut to the hospital room, and they were smoking in there in 1992.
Hey, it was a different time, man.
I was surprised at
that. Good old days.
I did have a question.
She gets blamed for Bernadette's death. Go ahead.
Oh, I had a question. When she like wakes up and starts freaking out, like when she sees Candyman in the hospital room, and like the nurses come in, they give her a shot directly in the fucking shoulder blade. That's not a thing, right?
Some can be. Some can be. If it's an intramuscular shot, it can be.
Okay. It just, like, I noticed it enough to make a note about it. It just seemed weird. They fucking shoved it right in her shoulder.
Yeah, think about your flu shot.
I haven't gotten a flu shot in forever.
Oh.
Sorry. That put a damper on everything.
Yeah.
You should get your flu shot. Come on.
Well, you guys, it stays between us. I got to get a tetanus shot. I stepped on a rusty nail just like yesterday, but it wasn't super deep. It was the kind, it just went through my shoe, and I felt it pierce my skin, and immediately I took it off, But anyway, it's a tetanus shot, so I have to get a tetanus shot. So don't feel bad, Grant. Like,
well, definitely try to keep that down low. We don't want no one to find out.
No, why is that a secret?
I'm not cutting that out of this, Matt, just to let you know. She has actually been sleeping or just like out of it for a month. I don't really know what you call that.
Yeah.
She was drugged up.
Catatonic for a month, I guess.
And then I have a note that says she's trying to call his ass out now in the doctor's office.
What does she think something good was going to happen with her doing that?
I don't know. I mean, at that point, if you put yourself in her position, what other option do you have? Like, you're already fucked.
And then it flashes at one point around here that it shows her husband, and he has gone with the student, and she's completely like painting the apartment, right?
Well, painting it pink.
Well, she breaks out and goes home.
Okay. Well, Candyman breaks the window after he kills the doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
And dude, it's pretty sweet though. Even though you can see the wires for like a second, when he sucks that fucker through the window, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then I put poor Trevor. But she puts in a great performance here, fucking just scaring the shit out of that girl.
Oh yeah, because she's got that rep now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now she's the crazy ex-wife, man.
Yeah, you think she gives new meaning to crazy ex-wife,
Yeah. So then she leaves that. She leaves Trevor's place and goes to find the Candyman guy.
So for me, this is where the movie kind of got slow.
Yeah, I mean,
and I feel like they could have cut some out here. And
it's still confusing on what's actually going on. This is when I start to get in the weeds a little bit.
Yeah, because when she finds him, it's like it almost seems like he had a physical body there.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was like sleeping or whatever, or like laying down.
And at one point he says, like, both our bones are going to be ashes. Well, I mean, he shouldn't have bones. He's been dead for 100-some years.
Yeah.
And
this is when they reveal the big mural painting, though, of his death.
Yeah.
And she sneaks up on him, which, once again, to your point, Frank, I don't know how. And she stabs him in the fucking neck.
Not that it hurt him at all.
No, it didn't do anything to him.
A nice little blood spurt, just for effect.
Did we lose Brad?
No.
Oh, okay. There's a big exclamation point on your screen, Brad.
I don't see one.
Oh, maybe it's just me then. I don't know. Brad Dixon.
You're an exclamation point.
So, yeah, because I can tell that I'm getting confused because I have a note that even says, "What is Candyman?" That's all it says.
What is this? Like I said, this got long for me until the ending.
Mm-hmm. Is it the money shot when he opens his jacket finally and all the bees come out?
I do like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it comes out of his mouth, and he starts kissing her, and then she has the bees.
Now, see, what I thought he was going to basically make her immortal, like him, and then he was going to kill her. It was going to be, you even said the pain would be exquisite, but then on the other side they'd be together forever, and they would go scare people together. They would both do what he does, and then so the baby should be, they would let the baby live and stuff like that. So that's why she was doing it. She was going to surrender herself so the baby would live and she would go on with him. But it seemed like what?
To do what though? You said scare people?
Well, do what he does right now. Like right now, when you say Candyman 5 times, he comes. So I think he was going to have it where they would both do that together.
I guess.
So they would be immortal.
I mean, that's what happens. So I mean,
well, but that's what happens for her. I mean, are we going to talk about the ending now?
Well,
no, not yet.
Well, we have to talk about her waking up.
That's all about the fire thing.
Yeah, she wakes up and she has all the bees all over and everything, and then there's the whole. So she does it go right to the fire thing? Is there something in between there? Does she hear the baby crying?
I stopped taking good notes.
Yeah,
she hears the baby crying. So she goes out to save the baby.
Yeah,
and in the little junk pile.
Yeah, and the little boy sees her, but he sees the hook, and so he thinks Candyman's in there.
Yeah.
So he gets everyone for Cabrini Green to go out there and put gasoline on it and light the thing on fire.
And then and Candyman shows up into the pile of wood too and tries to stop her from getting the baby.
Right, and so here's the parts where I don't understand. It's like, okay, he was supposed to release the baby, so maybe he's just being a dick and is going back on his word.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought that was the whole plan, was to release the baby and then they would they would die together. So it seems like he still wanted to die together with her, but he just wanted to kill the baby as well.
But again, he's already fucking dead.
I mean, that's the thing. So I didn't understand what he said. Like the bones would turn to ashes.
But he's asking for her to partner up with him. But he's not losing anything. He's just gaining. I mean, I guess she gets to save this baby she doesn't even know about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that good of a deal.
But I think he wants her to go willingly, I guess. It's kind of blackmail.
He's like, hey, you like jumping out of mirrors when people count to 5? I don't know. Like I said, this part got long and confusing for me.
Yeah.
Well,
I just don't understand. I mean, maybe he's just a dick. That's why he he didn't want to let the baby live or whatever. But
yeah, because in all reality, couldn't he? Like after she said Candyman 5 times, couldn't he have just broken out of the mirror and killed her?
Yeah, but I don't think he wanted to just kill her. He wants her to come with him.
Because she might be the person from the past?
Yeah, if you believe in reincarnation, or at least she just looks like her.
Yeah.
I guess. It was always you. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, to me, that's a common trope from like a Dracula thing. Like Dracula, like all those vampire movies. Like they see a young woman and they, it reminds them of the love they had 200 years ago.
Yeah.
So they want her. It's a common thing in like movies with characters like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then she crawls out on fire. They try to put her out, and they don't do such a great job.
Excellent wig, by the way.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
But then she loses the wig, and see, for some reason in my mind, I was like, she's gonna live, right? Because I remember she came back, and she was evil, but I thought she was like evil in real life. But we cut right to her in a casket, bald as hell.
And ironically, the husband and his mistress is there at the funeral.
I thought that was fucking weird that he brought the fucking mistress there with him.
And then all the people from Cabrini Green show up, and technically they're the ones who lit the fire, so technically they're the ones who killed her.
Yeah. That. Like, and the people of Cabrini Green are supposed to be like, I mean, not the most classy.
Yeah.
They're poor, they're underprivileged, and I mean, they were dressed up, they were there. Like, I don't know, it just.
And remember, this is the woman that killed the dogs and they thought killed the baby. Also, now that they know that it was really Candyman who did this, they figured it all out, that she didn't kill the dog.
Well, there was the giant explosion too, which shows that she was the one that got rid of Candyman for him.
Right.
All at the very end.
Yeah. So I think that they have forgiven her for everything.
Still, even that, I mean, like, they just understood that, like, oh, you know what she just did she? Hey, Cabrini Green.
Now, see, the way I took the ending, and this is kind of doesn't hold up because they made 2 sequels, but I think the way they were intending this thing to be perceived is that she, by doing what she did, took over for Candyman. So he's gone, and now the mural is of her, and now she comes when you say her name 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think the way this movie ended, like, Candyman's gone, and she is the new killer.
Okay, see, but if that's the case, then what he really wanted was peace. He didn't want to be in that. He needed somebody to take his place. He didn't say that. He needed to suggest that if what you're saying is true. That's what I mean. He never said why he needed her, why he wanted her.
Well, no, I don't think that was the original plan.
No, but hold on, though. But a second ago, you just said, "Oh, he did it because he loved her," and it reminded her of the girl from the beginning that he loved all that time ago, like the vampire stories or the Dracula story. But now you're saying, "Well, no, that's not the case. He really he just needs somebody to take his place."
No, you're totally. I think he wanted them to be together, doing the killings. But that's why I think. But remember, she left him. That's why he was screaming, "Come back to me!" and all that kind of shit. Then all of a sudden, like, something happened where he ended up going away. I don't think that was his plan. I think he wanted them together. But I think whatever she did made it so she's alone and he's gone.
So he still got his wish, but now he's gone, so she's alone.
Yeah, so because she got immortality. She's immortal, but he's
we don't know. We don't know that he's gone. They don't say Candyman 5 times anymore.
Well, I mean, and plus there's 2 sequels where he's back, but
right,
the way, like you talk about, like that big explosion or whatever, seemed to indicate maybe that it was him going away. And I'm not sure. Like I said, it did get confusing. There were things that's how I took it.
I don't think that's a bad way of taking it. I'm just saying, like, I wish that they would have explained it just a little bit better about what his
goals were.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your motivation?
Not clear. So that's all.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Candyman 2 goes into depth about that. Explains, kind of does a flashback. And it
there
explains
is a
all
flashback
that.
in one of them that I recall, but I think it might be Candyman 3.
Well,
I don't really know. I know, like, from what I read, like, Candyman 2 has something to do with, like, slaves rising from the dead. But they both have, like, really, really low, like, Rotten Tomato scores, so I wouldn't even bother with them.
Well, now we have to do 2 more podcasts with them, so don't know when.
Is that for real?
Yeah, and I have no idea how I'm going to find them, but now we're going to do one about 2 and one about 3.
I don't know. I can't find him either. So flash to their apartment, right?
Mm.
And the husband, what's his name, Grant?
Trevor.
Trevor's there with his student. You can tell Trevor's not so happy. His student's not so happy. He misses
granted.
the old days.
Yeah.
That back when she made it even flashes to the day that she made the dinner for him. She was all happy. He came in and ruined it.
Yeah.
It was a big dick, and he was like, "Oh, I guess that day was good, apparently."
Mm-hmm.
But so then she's pissed. She was going to make them a nice dinner. And so he's in the bathroom. He's starting to cry, and he's starting to weep. And he longs for his ex-wife, or his dead wife, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else take it from there.
And he turns around, and he turns the mirror off. Or shit, I was trying to set the scene. I fucked it up. And he turns the light off. He looks into the mirror. Says, "Helen."
Now, remember, he didn't turn off the light until the fourth Helen.
Helen. Do what?
Helen.
He didn't turn off the light to the fourth Helen.
Oh.
Yeah, the first few Helens are like, Helen. Oh, Helen. Like, he's like almost crying and saying her name. But then all of a sudden, he's like, you know what I should do? Turn off the light and go Candyman with this.
Yep.
No explanation.
Sorry, so
he's
then...
a dumb shit. Just admit it.
So then, light off. Helen.
And she comes.
Yes, and then she pops up behind him. I forget what she says, though.
It's like, what's wrong with Trevor? Are you afraid of something or something like that?
Is that what it is?
She asked him if he's afraid. I think it's like the same thing she said to him, like when she came back to the apartment after breaking out of the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like the same thing. Are you afraid of something, Trevor?
She's a bad bitch in the movie, man.
Yeah. What I think was great, though, too, is like the student, like she has the knife, so you got to get the picture. Like that student's probably going to get accused of killing him.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah,
just like how he got it. And Helen would want to do that too. Yeah, she'd probably get a kick out of framing her.
So I didn't like this. I didn't like the very end. I don't think Helen should have came back.
No.
Oh, I loved that. I thought that was awesome.
I don't know. If she did come back, she should have looked more fucked up, I guess, or something.
I love this movie until this whole end part.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
To me, I think the end made it for me.
Really?
Yeah. I love the end. I love that she came back and how she was the killer now. I love that.
Even if she would have done it the 5 times, and then it would have Flash and Candyman and Helen would have been there standing behind them, that would have been better.
I'm not saying that wouldn't be better, but I still love the fact that she came back and she got him.
Yeah, I just why did he think that was going to work?
No, I don't think he had any intentions of that trying to work. I think he was just depressed and was saying Helen.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, but the first 3 were like Helen, but then it was the fourth one was like Helen.
Mm-hmm. So Helen. He knew. I mean,
it's like he was trying.
I didn't get that impression he was trying to call her back. I mean, like, why would you want that? Because, like, if you call that, that kills you.
He had the blues.
Yeah, he was sad. He thought about the dinner, Frank.
Uh-huh. It was a suicide. He wanted to die.
Suicide by Helen?
Possibly.
Maybe it was guilt. Think about it. It was guilt. His conscience.
There's a lot of questions there. I don't know. I thought it was a good movie. I thought the first 50 minutes were awesome.
Yeah.
And then
that's
from
how
there,
I felt about it.
It went down.
Overall, I liked it, but I do think there is questions. There's just certain things that are unclear. You know?
It's motivations is what's unclear.
Yeah. Intent.
Like, why'd you have to kill the damn dog?
I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
But
you don't like dogs that much, I don't think.
But I just like that's insignificant to where like I just don't understand anybody's motivations after a while. Except maybe Helen, but then it's like, why is she so worried about this baby? Like I know it's a baby. Don't get me wrong. I know it's a baby and babies are babies, but like, why is this?
Raditz wants to kill all babies and dogs. Yeah.
No, but it's just like, she has like she doesn't even know she saw this baby for like 10 seconds. Like, why is she so worried about? Why is she even concerning herself with this at this point? Like, why isn't she just cut her losses?
Yeah.
Like, this is too big for me.
I mean, I don't think Candyman's going to leave her alone. You know,
I guess. I think he's gonna but I mean, to go in there, I don't know. It's like she keeps going after him.
I mean, she goes after him once. I mean,
maybe she
went home, and then like he came after her, killed Bernadette. Then she's in the hospital. He shows up again. She's not looking for him then. Well, actually, she did call him out there, but
yeah, she did.
But she was doing, I think, that to prove to the doctor or whatever.
But then she catches him sleeping later. She comes to him again.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I think that was the time that she went to him. That's where she was, kind of looking like to end it almost. Yeah, because he told her to find him.
That's like the fourth time she went looking for him.
I think that was probably like the first time since she knew he was real. I mean,
maybe since she knew he was real. Well, no, that's the second time because the doctor.
Well, she called him, but she wasn't trying to save the baby at that point. She was trying to prove that she wasn't a killer to the doctor.
I guess, but that should have further made her realize, like, this is too much for me. I've been fine for a month here by myself. I don't know what happened this month, and things haven't been great, but Candyman hasn't been here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that was her only way out.
She knew that, after the doctor, he knew that he was gonna keep on making her look like a murderous sociopath. I think that at the point she kind of gave up.
I think I hate Clive Barker too.
See? There you go. Are we just ending on that? Are you saying that?
No, it's really funny. We were talking last time about Night of the Living Dead, the remake, and Tony Todd is the main character in that.
Yeah. It
took me years to realize that was Candyman.
Really?
Yeah, probably. I probably saw. I think Night of the Living Dead remake came out in 1990, maybe 1991, and I probably saw it for the first time in 93, 94, and I had seen Candyman. And I probably didn't realize it until I started getting into horror movies around 98, 99.
That was the same person?
It started really getting into horror movies in a different way. But yeah, it was the same person. And then it kind of blew my mind. And I was like, because he's such a badass in Night of the Living Dead. So yeah.
Tony Todd, he's big in sci-fi too. He plays a lot of Star Trek characters and stuff like that. So he's big in the sci-fi horror community. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that. He's the guy in Hatchet too. He's like the voodoo man, isn't he?
Hatchet? I don't know if I've seen that.
Oh. He's in some other shit too. Yeah.
Well, all right. Any final thoughts on Candyman, or did we just wrap it up already?
I think it's wrapped up.
Yeah.
Matt,
we didn't talk about the student's nipples, so.
I know. Holy shit. I forgot about that. Why doesn't she have a bra on? Why are they that in your face?
I mean, yeah, it's
what
like at
the
the very end of the movie, like when the whole Trevor scene is going on, when she comes back.
And she's like walking around with the knife, about to make dinner. Like, and she's wearing this white t-shirt with just tits out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like she's wearing no bra and her like nips are like real pointy. That must be really cold in that room. And it's like, it's blatantly obvious, and it's kind of like it distracts from the whole tension of the scene.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice it though.
Oh yeah.
So if you go back and watch the last little bit, you'll see it's crazy, man.
It's crazy, man.
No, I'm serious. Like you don't see that like in a normal movie. You don't see that.
All right, so I have an idea here to sign off. Okay. Everybody has to say Candyman once. Because there's 4 of us, okay?
I don't know if I like this.
All right, so Brad, you're going to start.
All right, Candyman.
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 Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gal.
This is